Pre-reading questions. 1. What do you know about the Arctic Ocean? 2. What is a desert? Are all deserts hot? 3. How many deserts there in the world? 4. Find out the names of 5 deserts.
Endangered animals in the north. The future for polar bears is uncertain. The climate is changing. Every spring, the Arctic ice melts earlier, and every summer there is less ice. The habitat of the polar bears may disappear. Nobody knows if they will survive. Polar bears live all round the Arctic, in northern Canada, Alaska, Greenland, Norway and Russia. In winter, ice covers the Arctic Ocean. The seawater around the land freezes, too. Polar bears hunt for food on the sea ice. In summer, when the sea ice melts, they live on the land, but there is little food for them. They wait for the autumn when the sea freezes and they can go hunting again. Appearance. Polar bears are the largest kind of bear. The male is about 2.5 m tall and weighs around 500 kilograms. The female is smaller, about 2 m tall and weighs about 250 kilograms. Their thick, white fur insulates them from the cold. Their feet are large and furry. They can walk across the snow easily. They can swim well, too, because their feet are partly webbed. Diet. Polar bears hunt the seals that live under the ice in the Arctic Ocean. Seals make holes in the ice and they come up to breathe. The polar bear waits patiently by the hole. When the seal comes up, the polar bear tries to seize it in its powerful jaws. Reproduction. In the winter, female bears make dens under the deep snow drifts. Here the cubs are born. The mother bear keeps them warm and fed for several months without ever leaving them. When they are bigger, they go outside. The mother bear teaches them to hunt on the ice floes. Threats. Loss of sea ice because of climate change is the main threat to polar bears, but pollution from industry and oil spills also threaten them. In Russia, a new Arctic park has been created. Here, polar bears will live in safety, protected from harmful industrial activity. Look at nature. The sea otter. Sea otters live in the North Pacific Ocean. There used to be hundreds of thousands of sea otters, but almost all of them were hunted and killed for their fur. The sea otter was nearly extinct and only 1,000 to 2,000 were left. 100 years ago, hunting sea otters was banned. Now there are more than 100,000. Read these facts about the sea otter. Sea otters live near rocky coasts of the North Pacific and stay about 1 kilometer from the shore. They do not have dens on land and they can spend their entire lives in water. They sleep on the sea and eat there, too. The sea otter has thicker fur than any other animal. The outer fur is waterproof. The soft fur underneath stays dry and protects the otter from the cold water. Otters are between 1 m and 1.5 m long and weigh from 20 kilograms to 40 kilograms. The females are smaller than the males. The otter's back feet are fully webbed and they can swim well underwater. Sea otters dive to find food. They have long whiskers that help them to find their prey in dark water. They can lift boulders on the seafloor and search for sea creatures underneath them. They eat snails, crabs and shellfish. They use stones as small tools. They hit the shellfish with a stone to get them off the rocks. Sea otters often sleep at sea in large groups of 10-100. They float on their backs and hold each other's paws to make a raft and keep the group together. Otter pups are born at sea. The mother floats on her back with her newborn pup on her chest. A young pup's fur has so much air in it that it bobs safely on the surface like a plastic ball and is safe from drowning. The biggest threat to sea otters is oil spills. If a sea otter is covered in oil, its fur cannot keep it warm and it dies of cold. Thousands died in 1989 when an oil tanker spilled 40 million liters of oil into the sea. Answer these questions. 1. What is the Arctic Ocean like in winter? 2. Where do polar bears live in A, the winter? B, the summer? 3. How are polar bears insulated from the cold? 4. What animal do polar bears hunt on the sea ice? 5. Where has a new Arctic park been created? 6. Why were sea otters hunted by people? 7. Where do sea otters spend their lives?
8. How big and how heavy are sea otters? 9. What food do they live on? 10. What happens to a sea otter if it is covered in oil? 11. Why might the habitat of the polar bears disappear? 12. Explain how polar bears catch seals. 13. Why do you think an Arctic park has been created in Russia? 14. What does that suggest about other parts of the Arctic? Listen and read. Laura, the river's so beautiful. I love it. Holly, me, too. They're starting boat trips next month. Laura, it's a pity there aren't any boats for our photos. Jack, never mind. I'll take a photo of the bridge. Oh, no. Holly, what's the matter? Jack, it's the camera. There's something wrong with it. Laura, you're joking. Jack, no, honestly. It's not working. Holly, well, we'll have to find another camera and come back tomorrow. Jack, no, we can't. Laura and I are going to London tomorrow. Laura, what about the day after tomorrow? Holly, that's no good for me. My cousin's coming over. I'm meeting her in the morning and she's staying all day. Jack, this is ridiculous. We've got to take these photos. Laura, give me the camera. Oops. Jack, well, now it is broken. You're so clumsy. Laura, it wasn't my fault. Jack, wait a minute. It's working. Holly, thank goodness for that. Now let's take these photos of the river. Answer these questions. 1. Why have Jack, Holly and Laura come to the river? 2. Are there any boats on the river? 3. When are the boat trips starting? 4. Why can't Jack take a photo? 5. Can they take the photos tomorrow? Why not? 6. What is Holly doing the day after tomorrow? 7. Do you think Laura is clumsy? 8. Was it good or bad to drop the camera? Why? Activity. Appearance. Arctic. Autumn. Ban. Bears. Bob. Boulders. Breathe. Chest. Climate. Coastal. Coasts. Liters. Loss. Male. mammal, melts, musical, natural, newborn, normal, northern, nutty, otters, Pacific Ocean. Come up, comical, continual, creatures, cubs, dens, diet, dirty, dive, drowning, dusty, electrical, entire, extinct, park, partly, patiently, polar bears, pollution, powdery, prey, protected from, pup, raft, receive, region, reproduction, rocky, factual, fed, feet, female, final, float, flows, freezes, fully, fur insulates, furry, grief, guarantee, habitat, seal, seasonal, seas, several, shellfish, shore, smoky, snowdrift, spill, starry, survive, tanker, thicker, threat, handy, harmful, holes, hunt, industrial, industry, insulate, internal, jaws, threaten, threats, uncertain, walk across, warm, waterproof, webbed, ways, whiskers,